having beer, so I feel like peeing. Okay. So my name is Vimlendu Jha, and I run two enterprises called Pecha and Green the Gap. When I was born, I was 3.5 kgs and 16 inches. How heavy were you? Okay, so most entrepreneurs are born 3.5 kgs. Every human being is born 3.5 kgs actually. So entrepreneurs are no different. They're all like us. This is where education is extremely important for an entrepreneur. So I went to a college called St. Stephen's College where I studied very little. Not studied so much. But it was important to really go to a college because there was no other way to really grow up. And what I did in college was something else. For an entrepreneur, it's very important to have a cause, because my friends wanted to find out what I was doing after college, and I was doing nothing. And there was a dead Yamuna, and I used to tell them, oh well, I'm doing a research on Yamuna, because research sounded better than not doing anything. I started a small little campaign called V for Yamuna. This was 12 years ago, and that's me. I used to do theatre because that was the only thing that I could do as an entrepreneur. That was the only skill that I possessed. Some bit of passion. We actually engaged young people to do something, shout about the river, scream about the river. This is an action actually got people to not theorize about a particular cause, but to really go to the river, which was completely dead. Because you ask people, where do you get your water from? They'll say Sintex se aata hai bhaiya, ya fir Bisleri se aata hai, whatever. So the idea was to really create an ownership towards the Yamuna. But we had to run the campaign. So we had the office that we had was at Delhi Hat, 4 o'clock, Sikkim stall. We used to do theatre, sell paper bags, make paper bags all night, sell those paper bags next morning, and that's how we used to really run the campaign. So for almost 1 year, that's how V for Yamuna started. And it was very difficult for me and as an individual and for the campaign to understand that what are we doing? Are we only creating noise? Are we only trying to really do good, something about a particular issue? And that was the time for reflection where I went to do my master's. So I started this campaign for 1 year in 2000, then went to do my master's. When I came back, there was nothing left of Pecha, of this campaign, and when I came back, Pecha had to be scaled up. Okay, it had to be scaled up, and right now Pecha works. 10 years from now, Pecha works in different schools, around 50 schools in Delhi, with 10,000 young people. And after almost 5 years of running the organization, there was a fire. And for an entrepreneur, it's very important to really find some joy or some posing during disasters. So our entire office, whatever that we had created from those selling paper bags, got burned down. But we found joy, recreated the office, and at the same time as an individual, because it was the journey of an organization that started as a campaign in Delhi Hat, that became like an NGO. It was very important for us to see for me to see what next. And then a couple of years ago, because I'm a very restless human being, I wanted to work. I was working on a film called Disposable, which is like a documentary on rag pickers. I have passion for waste. I won't tell you why. And that's where I wanted to start designing products out of waste. The idea was that, of course, there's so much waste that we create because all of us who speak English, we create more waste than the people who do not speak English. And the footprint that all of us possess as successful human beings. That's where the idea of Green the Gap started. It's basically fair trade and sustainability. We employ people from different parts of the country, largely people who have migrated from smaller towns, and we make things out of trash. So it could be your chips packet, it could be your abandoned car tire, it could be Tetra Pak cartons, it could be anything. I haven't got the products as yet. That's how the journey started. It started as me not being a trained designer, but someone who wanted to do something with waste. The idea started with really working with those rag pickers. There's a whole range, and then we took it to stage 2, that it's not just about fulfilling my passion for design's sake or for the void's sake, and we set up a store. So this store was set up it was a burqa shop in Bandra, opposite Toto's, the garage bar, and in 7 days we converted this burqa shop into a proper Green the Gap store. This was last year. And then we also have a store in Hodge Khas village. Currently we've just launched, the idea is to also go .com, because that's like a .com. So now we have something called greenthegap.com, which promises to be like a one-stop shop on environment. चाहे आपको चूहा चाहिए या पहाड़, आपको जो हरा अगर चूहा चाहिए और हरा पहाड़ चाहिए तो आपको यहाँ पे मिलेगा. We're still working. As an entrepreneur, when you work on these many issues where there's a lot of gratification that you find, it's also aspiration. Sometimes you get tempted, and I constantly as an individual get tempted to pick up big jobs. So this is, like I was speaking a couple of years ago at the General, I work very closely as a consultant with the UN, and that's the temptation that you always have as an entrepreneur, that what you're doing, is this the best, or you should do something else, perhaps that will be more gratifying financially, economically, and status-wise. Recognition is a very important pillar for an entrepreneur, and that was one of the things that I was showing in the other slide. Sadness, it's very important. Entrepreneurs also have a heart, they also get sad. They're not great masters, they can be terrible dictators, and I'm also one, and I face a lot of issues being a bad master many times. About this one, I want all of you guys to do this.
Quickly, now this, right one up, right one, here, now, okay, two fingers out, two fingers out, two fingers, yeah, two, yeah, okay, now, do this. Okay.
So there's also, not all entrepreneurs are great human beings. They can fake and they can false and they can trick you sometimes. Thank you.